And now, your KY3 Storm Team forecast.
Well, we won't get rain from the hurricane, but we do have a weather change. And as of this morning.
It's true.
Quite the change.
Completely unrelated, we had that cold front move through. We've gotten several great pictures of sunrises and sunsets from the clouds and showers. Even some of the fast moving clouds where people literally got to see the wind moving through alongside that cold front. But of course, the big weather story across the country today, it's Hurricane Matthew. Here's a loop just over the past few hours, the past 6 hours. All of that color means that we have a stronger and stronger system that we're working with. We have a Category 3 hurricane out there now. That's the strength up to a Category 5 that they classify these. So very similar to how a tornado gets its strength based on the winds. That's how we're looking at the strength of the category we're looking at. 120-mile-per-hour winds. That's what's giving Matthew now that very clear eye, as well as that Category 3 rating. It's going to be something that we continue to watch throughout the weekend as it works its way up the coast of Florida. At last check about an hour ago, it was just 35 miles off the coast of Daytona Beach. Like we mentioned just a few minutes ago, the one thing that is actually helping to lessen probably some of the impact compared to how bad this situation could be with a hurricane this strength offshore, the strongest part of the hurricane, if you're used to the Doppler radar, you can tell that once you get those oranges and reds, that's when we increase not only the rainfall, but really the strength of the storm. So the strongest storms associated with the hurricane, it's kind of in that northeastern quadrant. So as long as this hurricane stays offshore, the strongest impacts of the hurricane will not be making landfall. But again, as this hurricane continues its track just off the coastline, we'll be watching very closely for some very strong impacts, especially since it's projected to maintain that Category 3 strength until Saturday rolls around. That's when we'll finally be able to lessen this hurricane. Saturday morning will be when it works its way offshore from the Carolinas, and we're hoping that it continues that track well off to the east, and that would, of course, lessen the impact from anywhere else on the East Coast continuing to see that hurricane. Now tonight, we're looking to stay nice and cool for kickoff back down into the 50s, and I think even for that drive home, it is definitely going to be feeling like fall is in full swing. I think we'll be seeing some 40s, potentially even some 30s tonight. Of course, right now, not a whole lot to be talking about on the Doppler radar here across southern Missouri. It was earlier this morning and, of course, late last night that we had those cloud showers, strong gusty winds moving through, all thanks to the cold front. Temperatures outside, you probably noticed a big change from yesterday, down to just 55 degrees rather, with that strong northwesterly breeze rolling through. And we can pretty clearly see where that cold front's lying through, because places like West Plains already in the mid 60s, so a 10-degree difference. That cold front across the state of Missouri and down into Oklahoma also very visible as it moves through. Now tonight, like we mentioned, it's going to be feeling much cooler. I think some of us could top off in the 60s before the evening rolls around. We're looking at lows, though, back down into the 40s. I don't think we'll be able to fall all the way down toward freezing, but wouldn't be surprised if first thing tomorrow morning when we come around to those low temperatures, if we do see our first glimpse at some 30s. And of course, that northerly wind, that's going to be something to make it continue to feel very chilly outside, especially at that 10 to 20 mile per hour strength we're expecting through the evening. Now for the rest of the weekend, it should look pretty nice with high temperatures climbing into the